Hey there guys, it's Metro, and today we're going to be taking another look at the Island Expedition. This weekend they enabled the Heroic and Mythic difficulties, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Mythic difficulty, and unfortunately discussing why I just don't really, I'm not really sure what they're going for here, let's put it that way. So we'll talk a little bit about it, some things I did like, and some things I didn't like. First thing to take note of here is actually going to happen really shortly. But it's Mythic difficulty, right? So this is kind of the crux of my problems. And as you see, the warrior on our team or whatever on our group has gone off on his own. He's struggling quite mightily, and you know the other actually died. I don't know if he died, but one way or the other, he's taking a lot of damage. And I'm thinking, like, I start these things, and I'm thinking, like, well, what's the difference between Mythic and normal? And that appears to be it right there. I actually died. I don't even know what I died to. But I did die. Okay, so it does seem like Mythic is just more difficult, and we see that in a lot of content nowadays. I don't see anything vastly different on Mythic than it was on normal. I have not done Heroic, but I don't think I will at this point on the alpha. But overall, my opinions on normal were that, you know, the content was really light and kind of really can kind of just do it as a fun thing and not have any expectations. And you know, a lot of that was because I expected that's what normal was going to be, and then of course I expected Mythic to be more I don't know, there has to be something that makes it Mythic. I just don't really know why they keep doing this with all the content in the game. Like the fact that there's 3 difficulties for this, it just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Unless the normal difficulty is going to be something that they're encouraging people to do while they're leveling, I just have absolutely no idea why there's 3 difficulties. And, you know, from the testing I've done so far on the alpha with this feature, it doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. The way I look at it is I feel like the PvP idea for this is going to be the best content for PvP in the entire video game. I'm not a PvPer, but I think this is probably one of the best things they could ever implement for player versus player interactions. And it works perfectly. Given the situation here, given the situation that, you know, it's like this kind of like free form, randomly generated map, multiple different maps, you know, it could be very different each time you do it. But, you know, there's probably always going to be some benefits to the PvP elements of it. But in the PvE element, it's like there's nothing to do. We literally just roam around, kill mobs. At first, I was like, oh man, this is actually pretty tough. They're beating us in the beginning here, but then I guess we just ramp up, or you know, I don't know what's happened here really, and the AI seems to be a bit different. It does seem to be smarter. It seems to be more balanced. Let's put it that way. But I don't know if that's now been a change to all difficulties, or if it's Mythic only, or what. But as I was talking to Sai about it, and that was the first thing he said. He's like, I really hope that Mythic means the AI is better, because on normal, it's cool. He said it was like neat and all, but like he's like, for an MMO it's really good, but compared to most video games, it's not actually, like, they're not actually doing anything. They're just attacking. You're just using random abilities. They're not actually outsmarting you in any way. So yeah, I don't really know what they're going for with this, but I still, like I said, same thing I would say about normal. I'm still very impressed with the AI. Still very impressed with the idea of it. I just really wish they would stop wasting our time with this normal Heroic Mythic thing, because it creates this situation here where, like, I mean, I had the same discussion today, and you know, Mythic Plus is completely devoid of this problem, if you ask me. So here's some PvP, and I just don't even know what's happening. Like, I really need nameplates to be colored. Can I turn that on by default? I don't know, but it's so difficult to tell what's an actual player, like an NPC player, and what's a creature on the island. I assume this thing I'm attacking now is somehow a player. They're not actually classes in WoW. They're like randomly, I don't know, like kind of like modified classes. It's like a tinkerer, I guess, or something. Like gets in like a mech suit. I don't know, it's hard to tell, honestly. That's one of my bigger problems with it. It's just hard to tell why we're fighting them. But regardless, the problem I typically have with this situation is that I see no reason for there to be these these quote unquote easy difficulties. It doesn't make any sense to me. I had this conversation today with somebody who's in like my Discord in the circle. And they were basically like, oh yeah, it's so difficult to find like these, let's just not even like go into specifics. They were basically saying it's difficult to find groups for content that is very easy right now. Okay, let's not even worry about the specifics. But it's like, Right, because there's no reason to do these difficulties. You know what I mean? Like, when Mythic is the hardest difficulty and it's not going to challenge you, like, what's the point? What's normal there for? Who are you catering? Like, who does Blizzard think normal is going to appeal to? It's like, oh my God, I can't possibly, oh, Mythic's too stressful. You know what I mean? It's like, what are you talking? It's a video game. I just don't understand this. I really don't. And I see this so frequently. It's like people who have like intense, like, I don't even know. They have like a problem, like something that they're so unconfident in, like they're not capable of being confident in a video game. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't, it's not, again, this is not a professional sport. You know what I mean? Like, what are you scared of? Why are you doing normal? What's the point in doing normal in a video game? If you're not playing it to progress, if you're not playing it to challenge yourself, if you're not playing it to maximize, you know, to be the best you can be given the time that you have to invest in the game, why are you playing the game? I just don't really know. I don't know what the purpose. Like, I could see normal and heroic. You know, the two PvE difficulties make sense. One easy, one supposed to be hard. But what's the point in heroic? Like, why are there 3 difficulties for this? It doesn't change. Nothing's different. It's exactly the same. And of course, so one other thing I wanted to definitely discuss here was that we're actually scaled up to item level 315. And this is really scary. I don't know what the hell this is about. Item level 315 is equivalent to the item level that Mythic 0 would drop. So if we're supposed to be 315 for this, what's the point? What is it here for? I guess we're going to have to see the actual value of completing this content. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to reward. I don't know what gear. Like, is it going to drop gear? I don't know how any of this is going to work. So that will considerably change the reasons I enjoy the content. Let's put it that way. Like, I mean, I love Mythic Plus. I would do Mythic Plus 5-mans, even if they rewarded nothing. Right? I did that with challenge modes. But Mythic Plus is so much better than challenge modes because they reward extremely valuable things. Extremely valuable things. And then the social and competitive elements of it come second. This is not really going to have any social and competitive elements. Like, Mythic 0 of this is just doesn't, I mean, already 315. Like, are they going to make it harder over time? Because that's going to be, we're going to outgear this in the first month of the expansion. So is it going to drop gear? Is it going to drop Azeroth only AP equivalent? Like, I don't really know. But I just can't I can't help but sit here and scratch my head at this. It's like, you know, if Blizzard just made one difficulty and it was equally challenging no matter what you did, and then they made the PvP difficulty, I think the system would make a lot more sense. As it stands right now, I have no idea what's going through the head here. I don't know why it's Mythic. Like, what's Mythic about it? I'm not sure. I would have to hear this from them personally, and I haven't. So, you know, maybe in the future they will say more about what the goals of the system are. But as of right now, we are destroying the Alliance. Like, as you see, we literally cannot, I don't think it would even be possible to lose at this point. We're so far ahead. They have not engaged us in any battle. And, like, the one time we fought someone, I couldn't even tell who we were fighting. They were so insignificant. They did do damage, like the warrior. The damage dealers were getting hit relatively hard. So maybe this is the bias as a tank, as a blood DK especially. But now I'm sitting here roaming around. I'm like, let's just go find these alliances, because I could have swore this was the point of it, was to show off the AI. But they're not even interacting with this yet, and they're not even gathering Azeroth. I'm not sure what they're doing. I would like to follow them around and find out, because this has actually gotten worse from when I did it last week. It's like the AI is less inclined to actually engage in you. Whereas when I did it on normal a couple weeks ago, I made the video on that, they were just like constantly attacking us. And that wasn't fun. I mean, it was all right. It wasn't necessarily unfun, but I didn't necessarily enjoy that because I kind of wanted to explore the island. But now in Mythic, you know, especially if you're targeting a PvP goal, then why are these mobs just like AFK? I mean, they're basically AFK. Look at, they're barely, I don't even know if they're collecting Azeroth. They're gaining it at such a slow pace that I don't think they're actually collecting it. But some of the cool things about it, you know, the fact that I actually die, it's difficult. There's a lot of, it's basically the scenario from MoP, right? Like a lot of telegraph things, a lot of things that could be interrupted, stunned, disoriented, you know, things like that to prevent damage. And I'm going to get hit by something here. I don't know what it is, but I get one shot, and that's I guess it's one of these mobs. Yeah, it must be one of these mobs doing it. So like that at least makes me think like, okay, well, you're meant to die sometimes in this, but it's like there's no reason to die. Like it doesn't really stop us from winning. You know what I mean? I'm just not sure. I like I said, I actually, if you watch the first video, I'm really excited about this feature. I think it's really cool, and I think the PvP part of it, you know, and the fact that they've incorporated this AI is a really, really big step for the game. But to me, it feels like a complete waste of time. And so I don't know what the purpose of doing it is going to be, but I really wish Blizzard would stop. Like, if there's one thing I could say about this, I really wish Blizzard would stop making multiple difficulties of trivial PvE. It's just completely pointless. Like, look at raiding compared to what this would be, right? Mythic raiding, we still wipe like 3 hours a week to Iminar. We've killed them 4 times now. We still wipe 3 hours a week to Iminar. Yet we're doing this, so it's 13 minutes. This is supposed to be Mythic. It's 13 minutes. I did this. I can't even get all my thoughts out in one video, basically. Like, that's not even enough time for me to talk about this topic. Yeah, we did the whole thing in 13 minutes without any... There was nothing stopping us from doing it. You know what I mean? Like, we destroyed, we crushed them. It wasn't even close. They're not even halfway completed, and we never even interacted with them. So obviously that could be tuned, that could be adjusted. But in the end, it just makes me wonder. It's like, what's the purpose of normal and heroic? This is just where it should be. You should only be doing this. You should not be, and again, it's encouraging people to underachieve in a situation that they're opting into, that they're paying to play. It's not like this is real life where it's like the daily struggle, man. It's so hard. I'm not athletic enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not mentally acute. And it's like, no, it's just a game, man. It's supposed to be fun and engaging. So why would you want to do normal? I just don't know. So we're going to have to see. We're going to have to see the rewards here. We're going to have to see how valuable they are. I just don't know. I can't think of any situation. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on the matter. I'd love to hear your thoughts on why there should be a normal difficulty for this system. It just doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. And that's not to say that the Mythic or the normal is bad. Like I said, I quite enjoy this feature. It's actually pretty cool, and especially the AI and the whole concept of, you know, these islands being random and all these items and these things that you could do on the island. Honestly, it feels like it would be better alone, because half the time I feel like these guys are just off doing their own thing anyway, and it kind of just, like this, you know, we have no healer, so this warrior's just constantly at 10% health. But like, I'm at full, like they can't even damage me. Everybody's attacking different things. Like, these people are still managing to die. I'm just not really sure. I don't really know what the point of the content is for having multiple difficulties. Like, what's meant to be more challenging in Mythic compared to normal. So I don't know. Either way, like I said, that's just something I've been thinking about for a while now. It's not just this feature. It's not just anything. But I do think that the main purpose of this content is going to be the PvP. So I'm very excited for that. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. But yeah, otherwise, that was Mythic. The first island expedition on Mythic I've tried. And yeah, I think it leaves some things to be desired.